Okay, let's move on. All the best to Tehran and his family. This was interesting. Jauan Jennings. So early, I just had my eyes on him because he requested a contract extension or a trade, which was a pretty aggressive move for a former number 3 wide receiver who had one breakout year. I was intrigued. I was like, yeah, that's right, Jauan, put your foot down. Get what's yours. It seemed like he had some type of a meeting with the upper ups and he decided not to flex his leverage, which I thought was a mistake, but maybe he felt that he didn't need to and that they would take care of him. I thought if they would, that they would take care of him tomorrow or the next day, and maybe they will. But now he has a calf injury. And so before practice, I'm watching him. He doesn't do special teams. So when special teams happen about 10 minutes, he just kind of stands. Most of the time he talks to Kyle. He seems anxious, nervous. I would be too. He's like, maybe a few days away from getting $75 million. I'd be nervous too. And if it is that potential extension contingent, not 75 million, but 45 million. Is that extension contingent on his practice? Maybe. Him staying healthy? Maybe. So he's talking to Ayuk. Ayuk's over there talking to him. Ayuk, one of the richest men on the team. He's got some grievances, but ultimately he got the money he wanted, and he got more money than Jauan Jennings has ever got to sniff. So I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to talk about whatever. It seemed like, my guess, I was 50 yards away, but it seemed like Ayuk wanted to know about the fight between Jennings and Lenore. Because then Jennings kind of put his hand on Ayuk's chest and sort of like pantomimed what he did to Lenore in the fight a couple of days, where he was like, I was just blocking him. Yeah, that's always what Jennings says, right? I was just playing football. So anyway, that conversation happened. I was watching. I actually got the whole thing on film. I can show you guys. And then Robert Saleh walked over. I thought this was so genius because you don't think about Saleh talking to offensive players because he's a defensive coordinator, but he'd just been a head coach for 4 years. He knows these players. He was here when they were here, and he's going to be a head coach again. So he's networking with offensive players. Came over, and Jauan Jennings gave him a hug. Brandon Ayuk gave Robert Saleh such a big hug. I thought that was interesting. Would Brandon Ayuk give John Lynch a big hug? I don't know. Would he give Kyle a big hug? Maybe. That's a maybe. But I saw him give Robert Saleh a big hug today. That was interesting. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, so Jennings was he's had this nervous energy all at camp a couple of days ago. He yelled at Mac Jones after Mac Jones completed a pass because he wanted the ball instead. Then 2 days ago, he got in a fight with Lenore. Whatever. He's entitled. He's got a lot at stake right now. Then today, he's warming up, and all of a sudden, I realized, like, man, Jauan hasn't caught a pass. He should probably, like, that's not so. I might have to put him in the not so good section today because he's trying to get this extension, and to get the extension, he's going to actually have to produce. And then Tracy Sandler at the post practice presser, she's like, "Hey, where was Jauan?" Like, good question, Tracy. I didn't even realize he was gone. And Kyle's like, "Oh yeah, it's his calf." It's like, and someone came back to him like, "Oh, that calf injury, huh?" It's like, "Oh yeah, same calf he had in OTAs." Okay. So look, I don't know if it's serious or not. He injured his calf in OTAs, came back, played well. So maybe it's something that's just like bothering him, nagging him. But like, I'm just gonna say it. They're calling it a calf injury, and it's nagging him. Sounds a lot like the thing that Christian had last year, Achilles tendonitis. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but calf and Achilles are connected anyway. And if it's lingering and re-aggravating, then I wonder if it's tendonitis. So that's not great. And that's why, I mean, look, maybe the Niners knew about this the whole time. Maybe when Jauan went and made his ultimatum, they were like, dude, you have Achilles tendonitis. Like, are you kidding? No, we're not going to extend you. And you're lucky we don't tell Adam Schefter about your injury. I mean, I don't know. I wonder. Because if he has Achilles tendonitis or calf tendonitis or whatever, they can't extend him. That's what they did with Christian last year. Imagine giving 2 extensions in 2 years to 2 players with calf injuries or Achilles injuries. Can't do it. You already made that mistake last year. Imagine they extend Jauan Jennings, and then the next day, the next week 4, the injury gets real serious and he can't practice, he can't play for a month or two or a season, then I mean, at that point, Jed York would have to look at the people making decisions with the money and be like, how many extensions are we going to give to people who are currently injured with calf injuries? How many? And why? So, Jauan, I feel terrible, but this is how brutal this business is and why players need to strike while the iron is hot and get their money while they can, because you thought you were being a good guy coming back to camp and practicing instead of holding in, holding out, and making people upset with you. Well, look what happened. Now you're hurt, and now they have to decide if they want to, like, you know, do the right thing, or who knows? Maybe they made you some promises in that practice, in that meeting. Maybe they told you, "Hey, man, you just practice for 2 weeks and keep your head down. We'll take care of you." Uh-huh. But the fine print is unless you get hurt. You know who else thought the Niners was going to take care of him? Dre Greenlaw. Jauan, you should call up Dre. I bet you Dre Greenlaw thought he was going to get a 3-year extension from the Niners or more. But then he got hurt. And then he didn't get that deal, did he? What did the Niners offer Dre Greenlaw? Was it ever reported? I have no idea. Probably not a 3-year deal. Probably nowhere close to what the Broncos offered him until the Broncos made the offer. And the Niners tried to come back at the last minute and match it or something. But the first one seemed to really insult him, like he had been expecting something else and the Niners changed their mind without communicating. I don't know. But I wonder if that's what's going to happen now. And that's just the way it goes, dude. If I were on their, in their front office and I knew the full extent of your injury and it was not good, I would be like, you know what? Sorry. We love Jauan, but it's a business and we can't make this mistake twice. That's why I'm 37 years old and I'm not a particularly good athlete, but if I ever got to do life again and be like a premium professional athlete and I got in a position where I might be able to get $75, $100, $250 million in a contract, I would hold out. I would not leave my house. I would put myself in bubble wrap and I would not see the light of day. I would have no tan. I would be taking vitamin D supplements. Are you kidding? If I trip and fall, I fell off the treadmill at Orange Theory. Can you imagine? Right there, I would be immediately disqualified from ever getting an extension. I would be indoors. So let that be a lesson to any other player out there that thinks that they're going to like get the team on their side by being nice. Nah. Brandon got what he wanted. I don't think Jauan's going to get what he wants, and I hope his calf is okay. Shady Luke says Eli Apple stinks. Ha. Yeah, I think that's fairly well established at this point in his career, but is this a tan grant? Yeah, I wanted to say that, like, I spend a lot of time inside because I work so hard, but this is the time of year where I'm forced to go outside for at least 2 hours every day. And it's not Oakland outside, it's Santa Clara outside, which is like 20 degrees hotter at least. So I get a little bit of a tan and I try to make it last the whole year, but really it's probably gone by October, if that. But thanks for noticing. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Because sometimes I feel like I'm on here and people only care what I have to say about sports, but I'm a person with a tan.